Thing.
Good morning. Hey Raj. Super excited to meet you. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. And how are you?
Perfectly fine. Thank you for asking. The weather here is so pleasant right now. To be honest, it was a challenge to get out of bed this morning. So it's all
Oh,
cool and breezy. So, what's the situation like in your city?
oh, it's quite bright and sunny.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
So,
it's like a normal summer day.
okay, perfect. So, do you feel like the weather has any kind of an impact on your mood?
Definitely,
Mm-hmm.
especially the rainy weather
Yeah.
where the sky is so dark. I think I enjoy that the most, and only when it's not drizzling. It's kind of course, it is raining, but after the rain,
Mm-hmm.
after the rain has stopped, the
Hmm.
sky is still dark. So I
Yeah.
enjoy that weather the most. And
Perfect.
in that weather, my mood is something like I want to listen to a few favorite songs from 90s by Kumar Sanu or Udit Narayana. I would feel like that.
Wow. Great. Sounds like a perfect dream. Playing some retro music with dark, cold weather.
Definitely.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah, sure.
Very well. I hope you had your breakfast.
Yeah, I had. And what about you?
Yes, I did. Had my breakfast, and yesterday we went to a cafe. So there was a small board, okay, on which there was a quote that was written, and that is, "Eating is a necessity, but eating healthy is an art." Okay, let me repeat it. Eating
Okay.
is a necessity, but eating healthy is an art. So I found that very fascinating. I even clicked a picture of it. So, what do you think it means? Like, uh, what was the gist of that quote?
Just of that quote is somewhat a wake up call for all of us
Mm-hmm.
who believe in who believe in eating only for the taste. So we
Hmm.
go after taste and we eat processed food a lot and
Yes,
Chinese food and whatnot. So we
correct.
should. I mean that quote is almost like a wake up call for all of us
Hmm.
that we should eat healthy and stay healthy because all this food they might taste well, but they are not good for our health.
Hmm. So, eating healthy is an art, right? So, are
Definitely.
you an artist? Are you good at exercising self control when it comes to
Not
healthy
at
eating?
all. Not
No.
at all. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
What about
Fine.
you?
Not 100%, mostly I give in to my cravings, but there are those days, once in a blue moon, you suddenly get inspired by someone or something you see on social media, and you're like, no, I will resist. I'm not going to eat that piece of chocolate or cake, and you resist. So, yeah. Okay. And have you ever been on any strange diets that was promoted by the media or celebrities?
Never. I've never followed anything like that in my life till date, and I don't think that I would ever feel like that. Sometimes I do think of following a healthy diet,
Hmm.
but later on I feel like okay, all these things are meant only for
Hmm.
those who can actually maintain it. And people
Right.
who have been habituated to eating in certain way,
Hmm.
no matter how much they try, they are not going to follow it properly. So I'm trying to give an example of mine
Hmm.
that I can say that okay, from today onwards, I will stay on fruits and salad
Hmm.
for my breakfast.
Okay.
But after 2 or 3 days, I would badly need the old breakfast that I have been eating for almost years.
Yes. Yeah, right. You're the one that you're habituated to.
Yeah.
Mm.
So my appetite would not allow me to stay on fruits and salads for
Okay.
longer.
Okay. I think that is where we all falter. Same here. I think I am no different at all. As I mentioned, there are those rare days when you do end up eating fruits and salads, but maybe after a few days, you again feel like, okay, I'm missing the breakfast that I've grown up on. I really want to have the food that I've grown up on. So you get those cravings eventually.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Good one. So let's do a small warm up activity. What we will do is, I will give you a flavor, and you have to quickly name three items, food items, corresponding to that flavor.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds interesting.
Okay. So the first one is savory.
Savory. Mm, I can't recall.
No problem. If you can tell me what is the meaning of savory, while you're telling me the meaning, probably it would ring a bell and you would be able to
Yeah,
remember one
savory.
basic.
Neither in the middle of sweet and bitter.
Uh,
Uh,
mhm.
Not bitter. I mean, in the middle of sweet and sour. It's neither spicy nor that sweet, but it is savory. It's quite tasty.
Okay, so basically, savory means food items which without any hint of sweetness.
Yeah,
Okay, so food items which are a combination of the rest of the flavors. For example, salty, spicy, and slightly sour, maybe sometimes, right? So that is savory. For example, this aloo bhujia or the namkeens, all the varieties of namkeens that are available in India, they all come under the bracket of savory snacks. Even if there is sweetness, it is very mild. It's like not very prominent, right? Mostly the flavors
yeah,
are dominated by salty, spicy, and slightly sour sometimes, depending on the food. Okay, so one
yeah.
I have
I
given you an example, like aloo bhujia is one example of a savory snack. So even samosas, right? That's also savory. So these are some examples. Okay.
okay.
And the next one is a bit of a challenge, but also interesting. Food which is completely bland. Bland means food with little to no flavor. So some bland food items.
I would say spinach.
Spinach, absolutely correct.
Spinach,
Hmm.
and I can't recall others.
Milk.
Spinach is the one, but after knowing about the taste, the qualities of spinach, I started enjoying it. Earlier, I hardly used to eat.
Okay, so it's a good thing. The nutrition prompted you to have it.
Definitely. And
Okay.
now it has become one of my favorite vegetables. Like I can eat only almost half of the uh, cauldron if it nobody eats it at my home.
Amazing, that's great. Okay, so anything else? One is spinach, and any other food which on its own has no taste. It requires something else to make it flavorful.
Mm,
How about plain rice?
Plain rice, yeah, definitely
Right?
plain rice.
Yes. And one more would be this white bread, the bakery bread that you get. It's just white in
Yeah,
color and it has no flavor. This brown bread, at least it tastes of something, all the grains, etc., that are sprinkled on top of it. It tastes of something. But as far as I have noticed, white bread is totally bland. You can't have it on its own. Some people have seen
definitely,
toast it and then dip it in chai and have it. That's a great combo. But yeah.
definitely.
Okay, all right. And the last one, this is very interesting. Spicy food items. Spicy or hot.
Generally, the non-veg items that we generally cook at home.
Hmm.
So the recipe. The
Yeah.
home recipes are that spicy one, or even at the restaurants, most of the items are spicy for sure.
Yeah, one you mentioned the non-veg items that are cooked
Yeah.
mostly spicy, especially the starters and the curries, right? What else? If you have to main some raw ingredients which are spicy, uncooked, totally raw,
Raw ingredients.
which even without cooking are spicy, which add spice to food.
Once again, I can't recall.
It rhymes with hilly.
Fully, sorry.
It rhymes. The ingredient rhymes with the word
Okay.
hilly.
Okay, you are talking about chili.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Chilies, right? So they are quite spicy. And another one, I'll give you a clue. These are shaped like small balls and they are either black or white in color.
Black or
Tiny
white.
bits, right? Which
Black pepper.
yes, perfect. I was about to say they need to be crushed in most situations. So black pepper. They also add a hint of spice to the foods, right?
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, fantastic. So, okay, I want to know, have you tasted all the flavors that we discussed right now? Bland, spicy, savory. Have you tasted pretty much all of them?
Yeah,
You
definitely.
great. And what's the spiciest dish that you've ever tried?
The spiciest, uh, I think non-veg, because no other items is cooked in that way where we add more spice than while
Hmm.
cooking non-veg.
Hmm.
Whatever we add while cooking non-veg
Yes.
is the most spiciest uh, recipe.
Okay. Contrary to that, the spiciest food that I have ever tried is actually pure vegetarian. It's those spicy Korean noodles. I would not recommend that you purchase it. Um, my goodness, it was so spicy. They give you the noodles. In addition to that, they give you some condiments in separate sachets. One is a chili oil, red chili oil. The other is the spice mix, the taste maker, like you get in Maggi, right?
Okay.
Both of them are extremely spicy. The instruction said that for a bowl of noodles you have to add all the condiments and cook it. The minute I started sweating, and how I had to wash my noodles again. I had to literally drain all the spices and then pour
Oh,
some hot water in it again and just eat the bland thing. It was so
okay.
spicy.
This reminded me a great incident
Yeah.
that I would ask my mother or whoever cooks at my home, aunt or sister, to not add any spice while cooking vegetables. And they would shout at me that, okay, whenever we cook non-veg, you
Hmm.
don't ask this question. You
Hmm.
eat it with gist. But whenever it comes to vegetable, you
Yeah.
start doing all these dramas.
Yes.
So why did they use this? Because I had washed my vegetables before eating it. So it is not treated good at all at home. So they were saying that, okay, while eating only vegetables, you do all this drama, but
Hmm.
whenever we cook non-veg, you eat it completely without complaining.
Okay, nice. Good one. Perfect. And in what situation, see, as you know, we all love eating food that has some flavor in it, right? The flavor could be anything, everyone has their preferences. But in what situations are we recommended to consume bland food where intentionally we don't add anything to spice it up, just bland?
Whenever we are, sorry, could you repeat the question?
Sure. In what situations are we recommended
Yeah,
to
okay,
consume bland?
got it. Whenever we are ill,
Yes.
sometimes it happens that
Okay.
whenever we are facing some problems, we are advised to eat bland food.
Hmm.
Khichdi. Khichdi is the famous
Hmm.
food that is offered during that time.
Hmm. Okay. Yes, 100% right. When we are sick, totally not recommended to eat spicy food. Bland is good. Any other situations can you think of?
Sometimes we do it for the sake of eating, because we like it.
Right. Perfect. So, can you, how often do you think fried food items should be consumed? Should we completely avoid them, or on what occasions is it okay to have them? Fried foods.
It depends. Uh, yeah, I mean, it differs from person to person. If I talk about myself,
Hmm.
uh, I can eat like every third day, maybe
Hmm.
every third or fourth day. What about you?
So I think probably on the weekend, or if there are some guests who have come over, I think fried snacks are always a hit with guests. They also get excited that okay, the
Definitely.
hosts have prepared something delicious for us. So I think when you have guests come over, or maybe during the weekend when you're out eating something at a restaurant, probably. So I feel it's great. And during the monsoons, it becomes very hard to resist because you always crave for some chai and some fritters. So during monsoons, it's very hard. I can't tell you exactly when. Whenever you feel
Yeah,
like.
definitely.
Yes, perfect, great. And we discussed about some flavors. We discussed about the recipe of a very famous dish from your region. Now let's go over to the vocabulary for some food textures, shall we?
Okay.
Okay, all right. I will give you the food item. All right. You just have to tell me what is its texture called.
Mm.
Okay. The first one is very common in India, used for flavor as well as for medicinal purposes, and that ingredient is honey. What would you call the texture of honey?
Sweet.
No, not the flavor. I want the texture.
So, how do you describe texture?
Texture, as in if you take biscuits, right? Biscuits are crunchy, right?
Okay.
So that is it. And if you take cake, how are cakes? Cakes are soft, right? Spongy. The texture is spongy. So now
Okay.
for honey, what is the texture?
Mm. Sticky.
Very good. Very nice. Absolutely right. It's quite syrupy and sticky, both. Right?
Right.
Yes. Perfect. Good one, Raj. The next one would be, imagine you're dunking biscuits in hot chai and you've left it for a little too long. So now when you remove the biscuit, it becomes very limp, right? It's like it's about to fall off. So what is that limp texture of soaked biscuits called?
Soft.
Can you come again, please?
Soft.
Soft is good. The best word would be soggy. You must have surely come across this. Soggy
Okay.
food. Yeah, something
Soft.
that lacks firmness, right? For example, cakes are soft only, but there's no chance that it's just going to fall off if you just move it around. It is a bit firm at the end of the day. It has some texture. It's like a sponge, right? But it's soft. So this one is soggy, right? So the next one, it's a crowd favorite, at least among children. Chewing gum. What is the texture of a chewing gum? The answer lies in the name of this only.
I can't recall the word. I mean,
Chewy.
the word.
Chewy food.
Chewy.
Food that you need to chew a lot to be able to, break it down. So that's very chewy.
Chewy. It's
Yes,
like why need to be added after CHEW?
absolutely right. Okay, that's chewy. Another one would be these toffees, like eclairs maybe. So the minute you put them in your mouth, it's not gonna melt, right? Even after a while, if you bite, you have to still bite it a lot. You have to chew it a lot for it to completely disintegrate. So that's chewy food, right? And the last one, my favorite, let's say potato chips. What's the texture of a potato chip? Fried, deep fried ones.
Crunchy,
Crispy. Crunchy is fine.
crispy
Depends
and
on the type.
crunchy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
crispy and crunchy. The difference between crispy and crunchy is crunchy means food items which have a little bit of thickness to it. All right. For instance, if you make maybe sweet potato chips, they are thicker than the regular one, so it's crunchy. It's a little hard to break. Crispy is it's wafer thin, easily breaks down, extremely brittle. So that is crispy. Got the difference?
yeah.
Yes, that's it. Perfect. So yeah, with that we come to an end of today's session. I think you do pretty well in the Q&A part. When someone puts you in the spot, even though you know the answer, somewhere I feel it acts as a blocker, like these on the spot things, right? But the question answer part, the descriptive part, you do a very decent job at it. Good job. So small assignment for you. Um, have you ever eaten a sandwich?
Mm, never.
No worries. So I think that would add a layer more to your assignment. Just look up the recipe to make a basic sandwich, all right? A 6 or 7 step procedure. And whatever you watch in the video, right? Try to turn it into um, a step by step recipe list on paper. Okay, so just watch the video and then whatever is being communicated there, so try to write it down in your own words, step by step. Step 1, slice the tomatoes and onions. Step 2, take 2 pieces of bread. So like that, step by step. All right, so there you have your own sandwich recipe. The whole point of this assignment is the logical organization of ideas, correct? How we can say things in a chronological order, that is something. And second, food is a very integral part of our lives, whether we are foodies or not, that's completely inconsequential. It's an integral part of our lives. So being able to describe the flavors, describe the textures, it makes English more relatable at the end of the day, right? So that's the point.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Raj. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, very well. I will see you in the next one, and until then, take care.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, bye for now. See
Bye
you in
bye.
another session.
Yes.
Have a nice day ahead.
Thank you.